question though. What's your thoughts on OnlyFans, man?
No. As somebody who's like anti-porn, things like that, that's anybody in the self-help community.
Yeah.
I completely disregard OnlyFans. I don't.
Fortunate to be on Earth at what I believe is like the Renaissance, the ability to sort of create our own destiny.
The Renaissance Podcast.
Welcome back, guys. I'm back. My name is Alan Shiner, and I'm back with the boys. We have some great news. We have a great guest, but a lot of things have changed, as you can tell. And, you know, we did this for a reason. As you guys will tell in the future, everything is going to line up perfectly. So introduce yourself, guys.
My boy Young T.
It's your boy Alex.
And the one and the only.
AKASH KOTA.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, man?
All right, so my name's AKASH KOTA. So I have 2 channels on YouTube. One of them is more like just like a funny reaction type content.
Okay.
And then the other one is a channel called Spiritual Droove. That channel is more about self-help content. I've been doing that channel for like a year and a half, but I'm not the only one on that channel. I share that channel with my brother, actually.
That kind of reminds me of Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Come on,
yeah.
man. So, like, 100% I support that whenever it comes down to your family.
Yeah.
Where are you from, man?
I'm from Capella, straight Capella, man.
What high school?
Capella High School.
How old are you, man?
17 years old.
17 years old, and you have 2 YouTube channels.
Yep.
And by the looks of it, you seem pretty mature, man. What, are you into any sports right now?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Play basketball?
What position you play?
Yeah.
I play the 3 and the 4, so
3 and the 4?
So small forward and power forward.
And they can't see this. Like, guys, this guy's huge. Like,
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
well, and he's only 17, so keep in mind that.
You think you got more growth than you?
I don't think so, bro.
What?
I was actually projected to be 6'4"
Yeah.
when I was like 15, but for me, I didn't really have like a huge growth spurt. It was just more of like growing consistently every year. So I started 6th grade as 5'6", which is already pretty decently tall. Then end of 6th grade, I'm 5'8". By the end of 7th grade, I'm 5'10". By the end of 8th grade, I'm 6 foot. By the end of 9th grade, I'm 6'2".
So just slowly
Boom,
consistent.
I'm out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you gotta drink more milk. That's what you need to do,
Get
man.
some
I
milk.
do. Honestly what's crazy about the height thing. My brother's 6'1", I'm 6'2". But every last person, if you look at through my family tree, nobody's above 6 feet.
I was just about to ask that.
I don't
Your
have
parents?
any uncles. My parents are 5'8", 5'5".
But like it's the American way, bro. Because like even Hispanics, us Hispanics, like we're generally not that tall.
Yeah.
But like
Them GMOs, bro.
them GMOs in America, like a lot of Hispanics here are now tall. They're past 6 foot. Like everybody.
Wow, I'm 5'6". I'm good at 5'6".
Well, you're Mexican though.
Your son will be.
Your son will
6'2".
probably be tall.
You know what's crazy too? My grandpa and my grandma, they're all freaking tall. My uncles, they're all tall. Bro, my cousin that's 14,
you were reversed.
15 is 6 something.
Yeah,
so, like,
God wasn't good on you, bro. God didn't bless you on that.
it's that meme where like I got my mom's worst jeans and my dad's worst jeans.
For real, bro.
Somebody I know in Capel, he also plays on the team varsity. He's 6'7". Okay, he's he's an Indian like I am.
Oh, you're Indian?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say. Anyway, so he's
6'7"?
He's 6'7". He just got he committed to Stanford like a couple months back because he's the real deal in basketball. His mom is like 5'2" and his dad is 5'5". And I was like, bro, what is going on here? But he has an uncle who's like 6'3", 6'4", so he probably got that from
Genetics.
him. But that's not how it worked with my brother and I. You know, we don't know where it come from. It probably came from like maybe what my mom fed us at a young age, you know, because I guess it was sort of like we ate like pretty like Indian food like every day, you know, like just fresh vegetables, things like that.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
super healthy.
homegrown, home.
I mean, isn't like kind of like the same way? I think I was reading that and I forgot what they ate, but like about kind of like Samoans, like why they're so big. Samoans are huge, bro, and it's something that had to do with like their islands and what they eat and stuff. That's why they
Yeah, nutrition plays a huge part.
I mean, but I think there's a huge difference between native Indians and then Indians from India. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because like, bro, you will not see anybody in India above like 6'5", 6'6".
Have you visited India?
I've been there 4 times.
4 times.
was
Have
the
you?
last time?
Do you stand out at the times you've
Yeah,
gone?
for sure.
Yeah.
All my relatives are like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I'm talking about?
Bro, I
Yeah.
saw you downstairs. I was opening the door, and then like my friend called me. He was like, "Hey, he's right there." So I like, really? He's 17? God damn.
Yeah, no, I get that a lot. You know, like for example, like you guys had Jordan on the show.
Yeah.
The first time I met Jordan like in person, like in March, bro, like he came to my house, and then like we just hooped there because I got a court there, and then so as soon as like my brother and I like opened the door to like let him in, I looked at him and was like, God damn, y'all tall as fuck. That's a,
Bro.
That's
Jordan,
wild though.
What a vibe is Jordan.
Yeah, man,
bro.
he is, bro.
Jordan is, you know, the whole reason why I got to even know about this podcast is because of him. You know, he put me on a lot of game, especially since we both make the same type of content.
Right.
Yeah, he's a great dude, man.
That's the thing about Jordan. I think even just meeting him for the first time is that you can tell he's not selfish about like his growth. Like he got that, he got a lot of subscribers and he's growing a lot. But I feel like he's one of the type that like wants to bring people with him, you know, and like it's
for sure.
If somebody's growing out of his his help, then that's great.
And that's very
good for
rare
him.
because it's not like, oh yeah, you live in my world. It's more like we live in the same world, so let's make the best out of it.
I think
that's
that those
very
are the
rare.
people that I enjoy watching them grow, like that actually like deserve it, you know.
You know, with Jordan, for example, the first time I met him in person, right off the bat, I noticed that he was very soft-spoken. You know, he's a very introverted person, but it's crazy how well-spoken he is at the same time. You know, he never stutters when he talks, anything like that. He's very self-taught, right?
Yeah.
There's a word for that. I think it's like autodidact, something like that. But yeah, so he's the definition of that. But when I met him in person, he only reacts based on what you're talking to him about. You know, he never just like goes like with the flow and just starts talking about something new. You know, the only way to get him to talk is if you talk to him first. You know, otherwise he'll just sit there and observe. You know,
Right.
because there could be like some awkward silences, and then you just have to start something up, and then he would just give you full
Well,
out
to be
insight.
honest, our podcast
know?
was pretty flowing. Like I mean, it's like I said, that's why he's so good at it. He was like whatever we talked about, he went with the flow, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have
but-
to bring him back, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
eventually.
Eventually back, you know.
I was going to ask you, man. So you are a high school athlete.
Yeah.
And did you hear the news about how like you're gonna be able to get paid now
Paid
in
NCAA.
Oh
college?
man, what's your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
That should have been there for a while.
Yeah.
you know?
we all knew that.
See,
We
the
all knew
thing,
that shit.
the way I think of it is, it's sort of like bruh, these fucking colleges are making millions of dollars off of my
Billions,
name,
bro.
millions of dollars off of endorsements off of my name.
Yeah.
But I'm going to practice with a cup of noodles in my pocket and then like a Gatorade, when I should be making money off of my own name. So that's the immediate thing I thought of. But then people are really trying to reach in the fact, for example, like Reggie Bush, he said things like, "Oh, my Heisman Trophy needs to be reinstated now." Bro, it's been 16 years, bro. Let it go, you know? Well, yeah, he was a beast in college, but it just comes down to this things like that. But yeah, that should have been there, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, D1 sports and just trying to make the pros is very unforgiving. Because you need to realize there are 200 people who make the league every year out of 400,000. You think of your odds right there, right? Basketball was never a long-term, like, league thing for me. You know, it's just more of like keep myself in shape and, you know, understand how a team plays a sport so I can get better perspective on it when I'm watching it on TV. Because, bruh, people watch these NBA players and be like, oh, he sucks. Oh, he's not doing good, all this. But you got to realize that any NBA player would come to your gym, to your court, and bust your ass 21-0. Any NBA player.
Have you ever gone against any NBA player that's currently in the league?
I've, like we were talking about that before the cameras were on. I've played against a lot of new high school recruits who are in the NBA now. RJ Hampton, Tyrese Maxey, Cade Cunningham. I've seen a lot of people play too. I've seen LaMelo Ball play, Lonzo Ball play, Zion Williamson play. I've seen all these people play in high school. So
Did you went through AAU or what?
yeah, so yeah, some of them, like when I was in 8th grade, like Zion and Lonzo were seniors, right?
Wow.
So LaMelo Ball and Zion, they were playing in an AAU game against each other. So I
Did
got
you
to
go to that game?
Yeah, I went to
Oh,
go
that's
watch
crazy,
that.
bro. That game was wild.
Yeah.
I was already
It's
a,
on YouTube.
a fan watching of them, and like it was crazy. That game was pretty wild. I think Zion won, right? The Zion team won.
Yeah, Zion's team won, but that's because, you know, but even then, they were the Big Ballers. I think that was their name. Yeah.
The big
Big
ballers.
Ballers.
LeVar,
Big ballers,
we'll get to
LeVar Ball.
We'll get to LeVar Ball in a second, but
The GOAT.
The GOAT,
they
bro.
were
It's the
they were
GOAT dad,
double and
bro.
triple teaming Zion the whole game. You know, they wouldn't let him get one dunk in.
Wow.
So it was more of like a true game, whereas some games are just for the people. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some coaches just sub in Zion when they were up by like 50, just blowing out like short white kids, just so he could do like 360 windmills
Crazy
in game.
dunks.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
Yeah, but I think that game didn't LeVar stop it, or was that not the game
No,
where,
no,
where
that
like
was
he
a
stopped
way
with
different-
the female ref,
Yeah.
right?
LeVar, if he doesn't agree with calls, bro, I respect that in a sense where they just walk out, you know, just pride on, you know, because his son was going to be famous regardless. And even before I saw the 3 Ball brothers, like as soon as I saw the 3 Ball brothers play for the first time, the first thing I said was, LaMelo Ball will be the best Ball brother to come out, and he is. You know?
I think well, not everybody, but who knew basketball, knew that. Like I always said that too. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay.
And so I was a big supporter of Zoe, but I hurt whenever he got traded. Now it hurts because he's in the Bulls too. So
yeah, no, he's
I'm like, man, I wanted him
player.
to come back. Honestly, I wanted him to come back to the Lakers.
You know,
but I mean, it happened. I mean, we got Russell Westbrook, so I'm not that disappointed, you know. But I was a big fan of Alonzo. But yeah, I for sure thought LaMelo was gonna be great, just because it's natural. Like every the youngest, it's always like he's gonna overshine because he's been getting busting his ass or getting his ass busted by his older
So you're
brothers,
telling
bro.
me
Like,
that out of all of the out of all of the brothers, he's the best one?
LaMelo,
yeah, for sure,
for
yeah.
sure, bro.
Okay, so then do you think that LeBron needs a super team to win?
What does that got to bring in with
my opinion on
fucking-
that? First of all, I'm a diehard Mavericks fan.
Okay.
You know? Straight out. You know, we've been
Mavs
struggling
fan.
for like
Oh, no,
7
yeah, yeah.
years.
No, no,
7 years. You know, I'm disappointed every year. No, because this year especially, I was like gonna cry after the first round.
Oh man.
For real, man.
that was
That's
tough to
disappointing.
see.
Well, y'all got out of the first round, right?
No.
Oh no, it was still.
We lost it
Game
7. Luka
Bro,
needs some help.
time passed by so fast.
They haven't done anything right this offseason.
No, they're not one
You
thing.
only picked up 3-and-D players.
Yeah, all these teams are making such big moves, especially the Lakers.
Yeah, they got everybody they mama, bro.
So
Yeah.
so do
They
you
might
think,
get messy, bro.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's just
for real,
hilarious.
right? So the Lakers, a super team. He needs a super
That's the
team to
thing.
win.
And first of all, right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and say, with proper affirmity, that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron James is not better than him. Yeah, I will, and
Facts.
I'm from this place. I watched LeBron growing
Hell
up.
nah.
I watched LeBron growing up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But just the legacy Jordan left, you know? And when people are like, oh, he's when somebody sees like somebody else play well in another sport, you'll notice that they never are like, bruh, Tiger Woods is the LeBron James of golf. They say Tiger Woods is the Michael Jordan of golf. You know what I'm talking about?
But LeBron James has a Space Jam movie too, bro.
Don't matter. There's a reason why they was
Nah,
original
LeBron-
first.
Personally-
I'm a bigger fan of LeBron being the GOAT.
LeBron, I don't see that killer instinct that Kobe had or Jordan had.
Okay.
Honestly. I don't see that.
I have my top 10 for NBA. Personally, I think mine is the most accurate out of everybody's for like all time.
Yeah.
But right
And
now,
welcome to the club.
okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and give my top 5.
Go for it, man.
All right, number 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
no, no. Man.
Number 4, Magic Johnson. Okay.
Magic.
Number 3, Kobe. And Kobe and Durant are my favorite players. You know.
Yeah.
Number 2, LeBron. Number 1 is Jordan. So I think
Okay.
people usually say that Curry is like the best point guard to ever play, but I just don't think so. Not yet.
Nah,
Not yet.
nah.
He's the
Nah.
greatest shooter to ever play,
I
but
could
he's
give
not
him
the
that.
greatest point guard.
Nah,
yet,
he's not the
you know?
greatest.
Magic
point guard.
is.
Magic is just, unreal.
Yeah.
What he was able to do. Curry is an amazing ball handler, shooter, things like that. If you were to ever meet him in real life, he'll put 100 on you before you could even score. I know that for a fact. You just won't touch the ball. But in that sense, I feel like by the end of Curry's career, he could be number 1, but he's not there yet.
I feel like Magic could have adapted in any era. Like if you would have thrown him in this era, he would learn his 3 points, and then he'll just dominate the game like that way. Because he's the type of player you could throw him in any era, and he'll just.
I think the closest player, honestly, and it was like not a mistake, but like whenever Magic compared him to Lonzo, I think he's more like LaMelo Ball is the perfect way of like seeing Magic now in like the current NBA era. Just because like the style of playing, if you see LaMelo play like tall and the same height too as well. Oh, wait, I think they're the same height, right? How tall was Magic?
Like 6'8"?
Magic was 6'7", LaMelo 6'8". That's
6'8". That's what I'm saying. Like, and then it's a point guard where like the length of like the tall, it's like it's his strength. He sees over the
Vision.
pick and roll and all that. Like, which that's what Magic was so great at.
I think it's more of, and we were talking about growth spurts earlier. You want a real growth spurt, you look at LaMelo Ball. 10th grade,
Bro, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is another one. But LaMelo Ball, he was 6 feet, like 6'1", at the end of sophomore year. By the end of his junior year, he was 6'7".
Damn.
Ooh,
So that's a 6 to 7 inch growth spurt right there. You know.
I think him and a lot of players grow like that. Like, I mean, that's why I was saying like Anthony Davis too. I think he was like
He was a guard at first.
he was a guard at junior, and then by senior year he was already like 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
Damn. So moving on from basketball, then you don't see yourself going pro then at all?
going pro, I never, you know,
Never really
wanted to do
even
that.
wanted.
You know, because I have my own opinions about, like I said, I was talking about how unforgiving, you know, professional sports. It's not something that, you know, because what we have to remember is that businessmen rule these leagues.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, the CEO.
But at the end of the day, these players are getting paid millions of dollars, right, to keep their mouth shut. There would always be something going on behind closed doors. And what's the point of playing a sport that you love when you can't even play it right?
Yeah, you're just playing for the owner, straight up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a question about that too, because I was thinking about it now that there's so many sports accumulating, like the Olympics, and then we're soccer fans too. So every soccer tournament there's coming up already. Basketball just ended, now football's coming up. Like, do you think it's a distraction for your growth, personal growth? Like, if you're into sports too much?
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially in the fact that, you know, watching somebody, you know, just committing time to all these sports games and things like that, because when you let sports affect your mood and your emotions, when these players don't even give a fuck about what you think, you know, at the end of the day, that's not good for your mental health.
Some do, KD.
Oh, for real.
Easy money
You
sniper.
you can't tell me KD don't get his feelings hurt, bro, about what the people think.
He got that burner, bro.
No,
but like you were saying, you said the emotions and it affects your emotions and your.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And I think sports should be something to be taken lightly, you know? Like, bro, focus on your own life first. Then when you got time just to kick back and stuff, you know, sports should be used as a crutch, you know, for your personal enjoyment, not for addiction, you know? That's why I never agreed with sports gambling or things like that, because once again, you're betting your own money on something that
I'm big on
that could already be fixed, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You should talk to him about that, because
Nah, I quit already.
No, well,
but-
homeboy used to gamble a lot of
Yeah, I
money
used to gamble a lot,
On
bro.
sports.
on the weekly basis.
I don't think it was in general, like, but it was gambles, like, as in parlays about, like, stuff that was, like, the first basket and all that type of deal, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Which is your luck. It's just pretty much luck. It's
coin toss.
it's not about, like,
Did you have
who you
success?
think is gonna nah, not really. I mean, I kind of like
It's called
got my
gambling
money
for a
back,
reason.
but I got lucky that it broke out kind of even, you know, where I
Yeah.
started. So it's like I didn't lose money to where the point. But
for me, I think take that money where you don't know if it's guaranteed or not and invest it. You know, invest it into stocks and things like that.
What are you gonna do after high school, or what are you planning?
So, I'm currently applying to colleges right now.
Where are you looking at? Where's your dream school? I should say.
I don't really have a dream school. You know,
Okay.
I'm not like too big on education. It's just something that like, it's more of like a financial crutch at the end of the day. You know, I want YouTube to be my main source of income.
Right.
My goal by 21 years, by when I turn 21, I want to have 6 sources of income coming in.
That's everybody's dream, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So first of all, I see those 6 sources of income almost being number 1, my main YouTube channel, which is Spiritual Druve. Number 2, my second YouTube channel, which is just for fun, you know, just laughs and stuff, reactions, basketball content, things like that. My third source would be investing. You know, investing in just super long-term stocks.
Yeah.
I could talk about that forever.
yeah,
Number
we the
4
same, man.
would be trading. Trading is something that should not be taken lightly. It's almost like gambling, but in this you actually have knowledge.
So we're
to-
talking about day trading.
day trading, which means waking up at 8:30 when the stock market opens and sitting there until 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Number 5 would be my job out of college. So I'm looking into finance as a major in college, probably stocks broker, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh snap. We got Big Pharma over here. Now I'm playing.
And then number six, I have some ideas for that. It's probably going to be something related to real estate,
I was about to say probably some real estate.
something like
Real
that.
estate.
Because I'm already invested in real estate.
That's good though, cause like, well, what I'm hearing is pretty much that at least three of your incomes is something. It's passive income where like you don't have to put that much effort into it, you know. Cause I was gonna say it's a lot. Even it's just starting YouTube and working. Like even us like have our day jobs or like our source of income right now, but obviously the end goal is trying to be financially free, especially
course.
now that YouTube gives us that platform to do it. But it's hard to keep up with it.
It's good that you have these ideas in your head because at 17, lots of 17-year-olds they're not thinking.
Shit,
This
I know I wasn't thinking that.
I get that almost every day.
know.
But it comes down to, me being blessed from where I came from. I got to experience what most high schoolers experience, whether that's with girls or like just mindset in general in middle school. So I'm already 3 years ahead in that sense.
Yeah, middle school, bro.
It's a wild boy right
Except-
there.
Homeboy lost
Except-
his virginity in
hold
middle
on.
school.
Except the main thing.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. Everything except
Everything
the main
else.
thing. I'm gonna say
Okay.
that. All right.
Homeboy
Well, I
still.
salute you, bro, because
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys
I'm a
talk with,
failure on that.
I don't know if you guys talk with Jordan about this on the podcast because I didn't. I saw a good amount, but I didn't watch the full thing.
Yeah.
Us self-help YouTubers, we actually talk about something called semen retention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what did you see after? What was it, a year? I believe.
So, I haven't done anything sexual in the last. Hold on, I hit 2 years in June.
Oh,
So
2 years.
I started June 2019.
nothing sexual at all.
That comes from not having sex.
Manuela, nothing.
Yeah. Masturbation, nothing. You name it, and because
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
some people are just on nofap, which means just not watching porn, masturbating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then other people push it to semen retention, like me.
Okay.
Because I just don't have a purpose to have a girl in my life right now.
But you don't like that feeling, bro? Like,
See, bro, it comes down to instant gratification.
Uh-huh.
When you're okay
Gotcha.
with having instant gratification from a girl that does nothing for you,
oh.
then if people tell me that, I'll be like, bro, do you?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
your
yeah.
life. But for me personally, I got to experience that as an 8th grader. I'll be like, bro, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What is the point of this?
Oh,
You know?
but girls, bro, once you make them feel real good like
That's-
that, they're gonna ask for that 3 times a day,
To me,
bro.
I'm-
3 times a day at least.
I'm gonna be honest, like personally, like I
Yeah.
get it, but at the same time, I'm like I work so much and like I have so much shit going on that it's just, to be honest, it's just a stress reliever for me, bro. Like it's
Okay.
not even something where it's like
You're looking for it type shit.
it's just like all right, fuck it, like let's go, and then like stress reliever, all right.
He said
Instead of
stress.
yeah,
These girls are stress relievers, guys.
So for
I mean,
me,
to me, yeah, that's what it
especially,
is,
right?
Yeah.
Stress reliever is, that's very vague. A stress reliever could be anything.
A workout.
Workout, meditate,
Yeah.
it just anything.
Reading a book, yeah,
And-
straight up.
Literally a stress reliever could be anything.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why our man force can create a child,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
You're holding seed that can create another human being,
Yeah.
right? So what's the point of
risking it.
like just going crazy every night, whether that's like watching porn, which isn't realistic whatsoever,
Yeah.
and just having sex with like mindless females who will do nothing for you,
Yeah.
Homeboy right here, bro. Talk to him right there. He's right next to you, man.
Nah, I mean,
Homeboy is getting
I
these.
know I know what it is. Like I know the difference between real and
He's reformed now.
He's reformed.
See, and for me, it comes down to a female. See, because I know there are some very like beautiful and very
Yeah.
self-worthy females out
Yeah.
there, but I haven't seen any yet. And
would you
It's
say
'cause
that?
you haven't gone to you told us,
See-
bro, you haven't gone down to the South
No,
Dallas,
no,
you know,
no.
deep down there, like you're in
bro,
Copel, bro.
but that's the thing. You would
Yeah.
like when you know.
Yeah.
And I have no idea yet. You know. what I'm
Okay, so
talking
that's what I
about?
was gonna ask you. So, is it because you have yet to find your type?
I know my type.
Okay, define your type then.
Yeah, I know my type, but
Okay.
it's not even about that.
Define your type.
What if I know when I need to put myself out there, and that's not right now. I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on my goals first.
You're
Yeah.
building yourself up.
Because you guys hear these horror stories of these people who, put their everything into females in
Yeah.
high school, things like that, just for instant gratification,
Yeah.
and end up screwing themselves in
Oh,
their
yeah.
20s. What's the point? I just don't understand,
Yeah.
right? You have all of your life to get with the female, right?
Yeah.
But the ages from 15 to 30 is crucial in your lifetime. You need to really
Yeah.
push yourself, mind over matter, in the sense where you need to put everything that all your mindset. It's not easy. Semen retention is not easy. I have people who are struggling with females, because semen retention isn't just about sexuality. It's a confidence boost. Skin gets clearer. It's just also you become more masculine. I think the confidence boost is the biggest thing, because confidence begets success. You will not be successful without having some sort of outspoken word, without being confident in yourself, right? Being confident in yourself is one thing, right? But not being confident in yourself and using females as almost a drug, to wipe out your addiction, that's not okay, right?
So I agree with everything you just said. Straight up, like the one thing that people need to understand is that girls are not necessarily a waste of time, but at a young age.
Why you got a girl, bro?
But here's the thing. But at a young age,
I love my girl.
oh heck yeah, my girl, love her to death. But at a young age, I look back and I see all of these mistakes that I did with these girls. And I'm all like, bruh, if I could have been 17 and if I could have not had dated this
Focused
girl
on.
for 6
Oh,
years.
for sure, yeah, for sure. But that's everybody. Like everybody has to make. I feel like and that's the difference. Like
Who falls in love
s-
with their high school sweetheart?
you
Who
s-
falls in? I mean, who ends up with their high school sweetheart?
I mean, some people
a
do.
low-
I mean, it
there's a
depends.
lower
Again,
chance.
Bro,
again, it
1%,
depends on where you come
2%.
from. You know, it depends. Like what he said. Like he experienced everything, or where he comes from. That's why he can focus on all those things when he was 17.
Heck yeah.
Us, and personally, me, like it's just like I didn't have that talk with anybody because I mean, I'm like.
Well, put things
Free
into
man out
context
here.
too, bro. You came from Carrollton, bro. Carrollton is interconnected like a hoe, bro. Like straight up, everybody had touched that hoe.
Carrollton is like
Oh my
majority
God.
Asians, right?
Oh,
no.
There's a little Mexico right here.
Well, not Carrollton. Like I think
thought that was
Farmers. I
South-
think Farmers Branch is more Mexicans, and then Carrollton is more mixed. It's like mixed everywhere.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of South Irving is, little Mexico City.
That too for
No,
sure.
that for
100%.
sure.
Because-
100%.
But we're everywhere to be
We're,
honest.
we're,
I know that.
where I'm
We're like
like,
rabbits, boy.
when I first moved to Dallas, I lived in Valley Ranch for 10 years. So
Yeah.
North,
Yeah, bro.
North
That's where
Irving-
we lived too for a
North
while.
Irving is called Browntown, but not because of Mexicans. Not because of
Indians,
Mexicans,
bro.
it's because of Indians, right?
Bro.
Our neighbors were all Indians, bro.
Everywhere you look, you'll just see Indian grandparents just jaywalking the streets, bro.
Bro, and no offense, we're not trying to be racist or anything, but the FBI most wanted motherfucker, top 10, was
Yasser Abdul
yeah,
Saeed.
homeboy was in what, Valley Ranch, straight up.
Yeah. His daughters actually went to my old school
Ah,
called North Hills.
That's so sad.
I was like a kindergartner when it happened.
Damn.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but that dude been living in Dallas for like the last 12 years just on the
So
run.
for those that don't know, so
Okay, I
the
didn't know.
FBI most wanted fucker, what was his name?
Yasser Abdul Saeed.
So he essentially did a proposed marriage for his daughters,
It was more like an honor killing. So
and they didn't like it. So
first of all, there was a lot of allegations saying that he was a pedo in the sense where he touched his daughters, things like that. And mind you, his daughters were very attractive, very pretty people, and they both had boyfriends at the time.
yeah,
And that's when he snapped in the
Yeah.
sense where he wasn't okay. He wanted, because that's not Hinduism whatsoever. They're Islam,
Yeah.
and that's not shaming anybody in that, because that's another beautiful religion. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Every
has their
religion has their bad.
everybody
you know.
has their own thing, right?
Yeah.
There are some things I don't agree with necessarily in religions and things like that, but especially in Islam, it's like you literally lose all your family pride when there's an interracial marriage. And both of his daughters were dating white guys, right? So he took them. It was in Irving. I know that for sure. He took them on like a taxi ride, and the girls knew something was wrong, and then he just pulled out a gun and shot both of them.
What the?
They're police. There's like police recordings everywhere of like the girls like calling the police and telling them what their dad did, but they both died on the scene as before the police could get there. And then
Man, this is wild.
I watched this FBI most wanted list back in 2016, and I'm like, bro, this dude could be anywhere by now. He could have gone to plastic surgery. He could have been back in Egypt. It could be anything. And then boom, 2021 hits, and then I see on Instagram news from the Irving police and be like, we caught this motherfucker. And it's like, dude was living like a shack in like outskirts.
Bro, we could have been
Dallas.
his neighbors, bro. Straight up. And
then he had, like, he had his- he had
Could
his-
have came to the party, bro. Hold
He had
up.
his son help him the whole time.
yeah.
Oh shit! I was just about to say, how the fuck did people didn't catch
So
him?
he
Like,
never
what the
went
fuck?
out. He had the son.
He was
The
here the
son
whole
was-
time.
yeah.
And that really gives you perspective as to like, bruh, a lot of these serial killers out here, bro, they could be living in your backyard and you will never know.
We dead ass.
We lived in Valley
we
Ranch.
lived in Valley Ranch too
Yeah.
for a while. We were roommates in
So
some
man,
apartments there.
and he was what, number 1 or number 2 in the top?
Something like that.
So he was like top 3
But
for sure.
Damn, I didn't
Because
know.
the police caught him, there was
I
no,
remember now
there was,
the story.
There was
but-
like a insane like reward, and because the police caught him, they're like, bro, fuck you guys, you're not getting a reward.
Nobody got the role.
It was like $1 million at least.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They should do some charity stuff. Like, all right, we'll donate.
Bro,
it
who
to
pays for
charity.
that stuff, man? It's not
We
federal.
probably do
It's
no
not federally
It has to be
funded.
federal.
It has to be federally
federal.
paid?
Yeah, yeah.
That's FBI.
Because
So.
there's a reason for motives.
We
everywhere.
pay for that.
It's not a GoFundMe. No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but-
I don't know what it is. Yeah, but it's probably federal in that sense, but
federal.
I
But
think-
okay, so,
So
we're,
let
go
me
ahead.
ask you something, bro. So you're saying it's Akash, and like when I first talked to you, I was like, Akash, we're fans of podcasts. So I don't know if you ever seen a podcast named Flagrant 2. So it's these comedians, and his first one of the comedians. It's 2 comedians. Main one is Andrew Schultz, and then the second one it's Akash. I forgot his last name.
Sing. S.
Akash Singh. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Akash
Probably.
Singh. Yeah, he's Indian too, and I was like, bro, I wonder if he knows him because he's one of our Because like I mean in general like me when I like some Hispanic or Mexican makes it like I'm like into it like I'll at least like read about him or something. But I was like I wonder if he knows about him because he's not that famous but he is making it out here on YouTube.
he's
You know,
famous.
Definitely look into him. He's really really funny.
yeah, they're all funny, bro. That podcast I always recommend to anybody that asks me about podcasts. I'm like Flagrant 2 is. Like they're fucking hilarious,
But other
bro.
than that,
and he actually just got married too, Indian wedding and everything. And I was watching
So like arranged marriage or?
I don't think it was arranged,
I think so.
but it was arranged.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. He does
Yeah,
talk
'cause
about
he
that.
went
Right?
to India and talked with the families and stuff.
That's
like
what I was
that.
gonna ask you. I mean, I don't know if you can talk about this, but like, are you into Indians? Because he specifically always says like his like he's into Indians and that's it. Like he doesn't like anything else other than Indians, and that's why he married an Indian girl.
Yeah, so I'll be as open as you guys are in here. So my type specifically, you know, the first like the girlfriend I had in 8th grade was south of the border, so Salvadorian.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
what's up, man?
Like
Hey.
Salvis.
He's Mexican, so he likes Salvis too. The enemy, bro.
Yeah, no, they're very beautiful. You know, like for example, I've been all around the world. You know,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been blessed to be able to do that. And so, like when I was in Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, these places, man, some fine ass females. Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's crazy. I think second type mainly. These three races always catch my eye. So it's like Salvadorian, mixed
Yeah.
is second for sure. So you know whether it's black mom, white dad, something like that. Black dad, white mom.
Yeah.
Just you know. It's more of like it's all about preference, you know.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself then? Have you ever talked to your parents about that and being in an arranged marriage?
Yeah, my parents and I have a very good relationship.
dope.
Especially in the sense, and like before I even talk about that, number 3 is Indian. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Is your less option? Or, was that a rank or was that like
bro.
just
So-
3 options?
no, so literally, honestly, just those 3 options to be
Yeah.
honest, you know, because I don't know, like I said, it's all about preference. You know,
Yeah,
you'll
for
never
sure.
see me just be with like an Asian girl, just you know, randomly. And that's not being racist.
No,
not just being
you're-
racist or anything.
yeah.
It's just everybody has their own preference. You know,
100%.
some Indians can't look at anybody else other than Indians.
Yeah.
Asians go for each other. Just things like that. Everybody has their own preference.
Yeah.
I talked to my parents about that. They don't really mind, like
You choosing your wife?
yeah,
or-
they don't care. But to be honest, I think arranged marriage, because I watch. One thing that I'm gonna put you guys on, bro, is Indian movies. Indian movies, bro, they're
Bollywood.
fire. Bollywood, Tollywood. Honestly, it's my favorite genre. I'm not gonna lie.
Dope.
Just because most of the plots are the same way. You know,
Yeah.
guy falls in love with girl.
Yeah.
Dad doesn't approve of it. Wants the girl to marry an arranged marriage guy based on what he chose, and then guy goes and fights for the girl, wins her at the end.
Give us 2 movies we should watch.
Okay, right off the bat,
Yeah.
the greatest Indian movie so far, in my opinion, is a movie called Bahubali. It did almost $1 billion in net worth.
Damn.
It's more popular than any American movie you can think of. Actually, other than Titanic.
How old is it?
Bahubali.
Yeah.
It came out in the first one. There are 2 parts. The first one came out in 2017.
Oh,
Okay.
The next one
recent.
came out in 2019.
Okay.
But they were filming it since 2013.
Okay.
And the dude who directed it is like the greatest director in Indian history. So it's like it's
Really
such a
known.
god tier movie. You have no idea how good it is. And then honestly, it's honestly a lot of movies are amazing. Bahubali is definitely one that everybody should watch. Another one, honestly it's very speculative. You could pick anything to be
Yeah.
honest. Just just search up best Tollywood movies on YouTube. Boom, you'll find something.
And that's the
dope.
cool thing about your culture is that you guys have your own little thing already established, like Hollywood, Tollywood, all of those things. So it's pretty cool. But in our
It's on Netflix?
Bahubali's on Netflix.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to watch it.
So it originally came out in my language called Telugu, but on Netflix it's in Hindi. So it's technically dubbed. It's not the original voices, but in Hindi
Okay.
it's amazing too.
I mean,
okay.
I won't have captions, bro, so I'll be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
So, but you see that. You see, we don't have that type of Hollywood in Mexico or, in El Salvador, things
now
like
on
that.
Netflix, and man, I don't know if you know, but like, I don't know, have you seen, like, are you big, like, do you watch Netflix a lot?
Oh yeah.
Have you watched Money Heist?
I have not watched Money Heist, but my favorite show of all time is Breaking Bad.
Nice.
That's the
Bad.
first show I ever finished. I'm the
Straight
type
up.
that starts a show and never finish it. That was the first one.
Actually,
I was like,
I never finished Breaking Bad.
man, you got
Yeah,
to, man.
No, the
Man.
thing is, you know, the thing is, just because like I was watching it and then somebody pretty much ruined it because I watched it later on.
Oh,
So
they ruined
they
it.
told me the final, so it ruined it. So I
I
was
haven't
like,
watched
I
the
don't
movie
even want
one.
to watch
You
it,
watched
bro.
it?
Oh, you're talking
El
about
Camino?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
El
good
Camino?
too, but
It
it's
was-
not like
It was
Yeah.
decent. Did you
Yeah,
like
it's
it?
good. It's good.
It was good.
Uh,
I mean,
Yeah, but especially in the fact that, you know, I definitely like these drug-related crime TV series. You know, I've seen Breaking Bad. I've seen Better Call Saul, the prequel to Breaking Bad.
Have you seen any of the Narcos movies?
I've seen the entire Narcos show.
Like the
That's
Mexico one too?
Not the Mexico one, but I've seen the Pablo Escobar one. And that's on Netflix.
You should watch the Mexico one. It's good, bro.
Yeah.
They're starting now with like the. It's just it's crazy now because like now it's so in the moment. Like now it's like it's actually like happening right now too. So it's kind of dangerous for them too, for the Netflix people. I mean, there was a story. I mean, it came out when they were doing the scouts for Mexico. Like one of them died. Like one of them got murdered. Yeah. And it's so hard for them because it's literally the stories they're talking about. It's just so recent. It was just like fucking like 20 years ago or 30 years ago that.
Fuckers are still alive, you know.
Motherfuckers are still alive, and some of them haven't been found. I mean, the Chapo just got caught, which they're trying to do one. I think it's like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like the 4th season of Narcos for that shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one thing for me, especially when watching these shows, it's like it gives me perspective as to like how disconnected I am from Mexican culture, you know? Especially in the fact that like I know a lot about a lot of different cultures, but like for me, because I live in Coppell, for example, the most Mexican areas are like, you know, CFB, South Irving.
Yeah.
So, bro, there are zero like authentic Mexican places I can go to even for food in like Coppell or like where I go north Dallas. North Dallas is over there, but like I don't know. For me, it's just like, and that's why Mexican food is my least favorite cuisine, unfortunately. Because I just haven't haven't
had the authentic.
Other than going out to like country like real like Costa Rica, places like this, Cancun, Puerto Rico, where I get like authentic street tacos like from a cart where they like are like carving the pork like on the skewer itself. Okay, that was amazing. But like, I just haven't had the authentic feel of Mexico in itself.
Damn, we gotta invite you to our place, bro.
That's why it's my least favorite cuisine right now. And then, you know, because you end up going to these bullshit chains like Abuelos and like Tex-Mexes and shit like that. That's
Tex-Mex,
yeah, that's not Mexican food.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's you always get like the bad experience. That's why when I prefer, to be honest, when I'm gonna eat somebody else like culture's food, I always prefer like somebody like something homemade that is like a mother makes, you know, because it always brings like the homemade part of the
Tex-Mex, or do you prefer Cali food, authentic Mexican food from California?
Well, Cali's not authentic Mexican either,
bro. It's 100 times better though than Tex-Mex.
Well, it depends. Again, it depends on the restaurant.
I'm not a big Tex-Mex fan,
the restaurant I worked at, it was Tex-Mex, but not really Tex-Mex. Like the food they made there, a lot of the cooks there were like they all knew how to cook, like especially Mexican food.
I would move to San Diego. Just for the food, straight up.
Just for the food?
Straight up, just for the food.
Honestly, like, for me especially, I think, you know, it's definitely a culture, like, I want to definitely, like, try to reconnect with and just see, because I know a good amount, but that's just on what I've seen from my movies, shows, things like that.
I don't think I've ever tried an Indian dish now that I think about it.
So, immediately, like, after this podcast, I'm going to text you guys 3 spots. Number 1, they're all in North Irving, so, like, probably 10-minute drive from here. So I say Bawarchi's number 1. That's a great place. Number 2 is this place called Coochie Booty. That's also good.
Coochie Booty?
Coochie Pooty. It's like a Coochie
Booty. You get both of them.
You already got me interested, bro. You already got me interested on that.
No. That's like a dance in India.
Do I need singles?
It's like a fashion dance in India. And then number 3 is Hello India for sure. These are all good. Like the first thing you do when you go to an Indian restaurant, bro, just get their biryani. That's how you know whether a restaurant is good or not.
Okay.
So that's the first thing you get.
What is that? Like
what is that?
That's not
Y'all don't know what biryani is?
Is that like the tortilla?
Game,
no, biryani is like a flavored. It's like a flavored rice. It's like rice with like you could either get chicken biryani or mutton biryani.
So it's not like fucking like Chipotle rice where you add the cilantro.
No. Biryani is like spiced in itself with all these different spices and things like that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You know what? I've had it before. I just didn't know the name of it.
Because our base for any Indian dish, the base is masala. For example, like in Asian culture, like the base of any food is like fish sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty.
For us, it's something called masala. It's just like a bunch of spices mixed together.
Oh shit! No wonder why.
For example, for like Mexican food, for example, it's like almost like peppers in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. So every cuisine has a base, and the reason why I'm even talking about this so much because I cook. So, yeah.
But this is the make or break for the Indian restaurant. Like if they have some bad type of food like that, you're just like.
But then again, that's how Mexican restaurants are the same. Like if the rice is not good, you can tell by the rice how good.
Or the beans.
Honestly, North Irving is a meet in the middle for us because you guys live down here. I live in
Yeah.
Coppell. It's right in the middle, 10 minutes from each
sure.
of us. I could honestly take you guys to one of the Indian restaurants whenever y'all down.
We got
Bro,
to. Sure,
we got to, bro.
Yeah, I could order the menu for you guys as well.
Bro,
Just
I was
go
about to
ahead.
say, bro, we gotta film that. We gotta be like Mexicans try Indian food for the first time.
Vlog that BuzzFeed
For
type
sure.
shit. You know what I'm
Bro.
saying? We looking for content over here.
And here's the thing, though. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Like, I'm telling you, that restaurant that I told you about, apparently you're the owner or whatever, your family, right?
Right.
So, like, I'm telling you guys, like, it gets popping.
Always, yeah.
It's popping.
yeah, we
in
have
there.
almost 500, 600 people there at night.
yeah,
oh,
bro.
wow.
Because we serve something called Irani chai. It's like a Indian tea,
Mm-hmm.
but we like boil the milk like 24 hours before,
Yeah.
and we only serve it for like $1.
No,
So
wow.
and there's nothing more than Indians love than a good sale.
Bro, I was about to say, so
'Cause
like,
we're cheap as
so you're pretty much like the brunch mimosa type of deal, where like the mimosas are for $1 and
I don't know if you guys know where Mexican sugar is. You guys know
Mexican sugar? I've
Yeah.
heard of that
It's
in Plano.
where,
Whatever.
no, Mexican sugar is in Irving.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's right next to that like pin stack, and then like that whole stretch. When you're
Oh,
going on the
there's
service
another one
roads,
over
Yeah,
Lincoln Johnson.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
So Hello India's right there. It's sold out every day.
about.
It's just so popular.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
wait, let me ask you something. So like that sells, you said you sell it for $1 or $2?
Yeah, we sell like a cup, which people like, because Indians are addicted to chai, you know, and we sell it for like $1 for like a good like.
Do you think the
cup.
waiters there are annoyed that like when people order, especially when you're
Honestly, bro,
having
we have so much faculty just for the chai, because
yeah, bro.
just
Because I was
pour it.
about to say, bro, like when I was talking about mimosas, like it's so fucking hard to be serving so many, especially because it's $1 and you can finish it so quickly too. So like when people want more and more and more, like it's stressful as a waiter, like to bring so many.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, it's pretty much the same concept. It's just a different drink.
Do Indians
Like-
eat alcohol? I mean, drink alcohol?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro. What you mean?
What kind of,
Oh, no, bro.
bro? I like having these conversations with people because the disconnecting culture is unreal.
Yeah, for real.
People just have so many questions from like about each other, like, and I think there's a big misconception with Indians in the fact like people don't really know too much about Indians, bro, because we don't really harm anybody. You'll never see on the news an Indian hate crime occurred.
Bro, honestly,
'Cause-
in World War II, man, y'all were even in World War II. I didn't
We
even
weren't
know
in-
about it.
The only thing that happened with Indian history is British imperialism.
Yeah.
That's
Gandhi
literally the
and
only
all
thing
that.
that happened, right? That's anything that happened. And for us now, you'll never see an Indian hate crime on the news or anything like that because all you guys can do is just make fun of us, you know, with our accents and shit like that. But there's nothing we can truly do to harm other people. We don't.
Is this
we just,
a cultural thing though? Like
we just stay to ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how.
And like honestly, if I'm being straight, bro, Indians are racist. We're racist as fuck, but we're subliminally racist, which means like, bro,
Yeah.
we're like, bro, we see a black person, we'd be like, bro, I don't want him to kill me. Just shit like that. We see a Mexican dude and we're like,
want
we're
him to
like,
rob me.
bro, he's at the cartel. I don't want any business with him. You know what I'm talking about?
But I feel
Yeah.
like and people say that about every race. Like I've met people from like every race, every ethnicity and stuff. And the thing is, everybody in their culture has that. Like
yeah.
races. Like it just depends on how open you are. And I think the more you grow into like especially the American culture, everybody starts knowing how to pretty much live with each other. Like it doesn't matter the race or.
I feel like
or-
we're still living in that experiment where like we're still
We're the
in that-
experiment, yeah,
where-
America's the experiment,
where
though.
we're still in that melting pot where these communities are still evolving based off of their offsprings, which is us now.
The only reason I know like Indians drink and I said hell yeah is because like the restaurant I used to work at a restaurant where like it was a Tex-Mex restaurant, but there was a family of Indians that love to go there and they would love to go eat. Especially they would love it was called like a summer sauce where it was like a spicy queso that we had and then we eat it with enchiladas, which was like either they made it of cheese because they were vegan or vegetarian, they couldn't eat any meat. But sometimes they would even rent out the restaurant and throw like after like a party there or anything they would throw. Well, man, they would get drunk, bro. Like they would get drunk.
Oh yeah, bro.
They love their drinks, bro.
And going back to work, what do you guys do?
I'm a salesman, so
Where?
I work for corporate. So it's funny because, you know, I've always worked in the sales industry, whether it was car dealerships, all of those type of things. And like, man, y'all are tough to deal with. Indians are not a pain in the
So,
ass, but
I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm asking you this question because my brother,
Yeah.
he works at Grubbs Acura, the
Okay.
luxury dealership
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Grapevine. He's a product specialist, so he's a salesman as well.
yeah.
People don't understand how hard that job is, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's an underrated job as well because you can make bank doing that job, and
Oh, yeah.
especially in a luxury dealership.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's only 20 years old and he's already pulling in a $200,000 salary.
Yeah.
Right.
And it comes down to
how bad you want it, because at the end of the day, like these customers come in and out, in and out, in and out. It's about like, are you gonna go pick them up, or are you gonna come get are you gonna gather your clientele now? Are you gonna build things up? So like, it's a good career.
Yeah, and
it really is.
Especially with the Indian thing. The only reason why I'm laughing is because my brother's Indian too, right?
Oh.
And he calls my we have a family group chat, and then he just puts in the group chat, these fucking Indian customers. I hate these guys. Like, bro,
that's how,
they will try to negotiate a
best deal.
brand new car from like 67 grand to like 50, and be like, bro, why in the fuck should we give that to you? Like, bro, what do you think this is? And then we like, cause my brother gives them good deals. And then they come back a day later and be like, oh, I want this deal. My brother's like, fuck you, get out of here. Like, literally, be like, bro, you lost your chance, because that's not how it works in college. You either take it or leave.
Yeah.
And you can't just go all around Dallas looking for cars and then just be like, okay, I want this car. You give me the best deal. Like, nah, you get one shot.
Yeah, straight up.
I feel like that the cultural wise is like I'm the same way. I mean, I'm a salesman too, but the thing is,
Which company?
Well, I'm more for I work for a tow company, but it's more like towing cars for like high-end cars, or like
Okay.
unconventional stuff too,
Got
like machinery, heavy machinery stuff like that. That like, it's a lot of money too, but also the companies that call mostly like they try to get the best deal, obviously, because there's not a lot of competition, but the competition that is there, we're more like the company that charges a lot more, so you got to sell the shit out of that shit, because like,
For real.
if not, you don't get paid, you know.
But you've had
And-
good clientele though, like coming
Oh
back.
hell yeah, I've had a good amount. Like I'm pretty good at. I've had luck. I mean, I won't say luck, but it's just working. And sales, like I said, it's hard, because you gotta accept when it's like you gotta give it up. Like you gotta go on to the next person, and like it's stressful too. Because I was like, and I was gonna ask you about that too, like on a off podcast. But it's like, sometimes you gotta know quality over quantity, and like it's like you can't go for every single person, but you gotta know.
It's kind of a numbers game too.
Yeah, it's a numbers game, but like you gotta know who to go for and stuff.
Yeah.
And especially when you said about your brother that he was like talking shit about Indians and stuff, I'm like, bro, I'm the same way about Hispanics. Like when a Hispanic calls me, I'm like, bro, I ain't
trying to
even
get
trying
the
to.
best
I ain't even trying to make the sale or anything. I just go like, you know what, this. If you want it, you want it. If not, not. Like I'm not gonna work my ass off for you for 10 minutes or like however time I might have to talk to this guy. Just for then he's like, yeah, I'll call you back. I'm like, bro, like
That's so true. Like that's how my dad is. Like it'll be a set price on an item, bro, and he'll still try to barter with the person. Like, hey, come on, what's the best? I know you could do it lower. I know you still getting a profit on it.
And that's why I sort of see like like Mexican and Indian people almost as like very identical in a sense.
Oh
oh, yeah, for sure, bro.
The only difference between India and Mexico, because I've been to both,
Okay.
the only difference between both is that in India you have cows roaming the streets. That is the only difference.
We got dogs.
We all eat.
That's the only difference. Both
We
are
all eat
undeveloped.
spicy food, bro.
Bro, if you go to a stall and you want to
Yeah.
get some food from there, expect diarrhea for like 2 weeks, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Because our stomachs aren't built for that over there, 'Cause they got strong stomachs over there,
Yeah.
Just everything, just like trash on the streets, just, unhygienic environment, people staring at you. Just these are the
For
things
us.
that I've noticed. There's not a big difference between the two countries. The only difference is the food we eat versus the food you eat.
Yeah.
That's why food is such a big part. And then going back to the Indians are cheap thing, even though we're cheap, bro, I can say it like right here. Any Indian you ask, they're proud to be cheap.
Oh yeah.
That's right off the bat, because there's like a thing that came out last week, going into 2021, the most average house like income per average household every year. Indians are number one on that list every fucking year. This year we put it to 126 grand a year
Man, that's wild.
between all households. And think about like just really put this into perspective where you think about like, bruh,
Median is like what, 50, right?
yeah, almost. It's unbelievable because the bottom of that list is African Americans at 20 grand. And let me explain something to you. You need to understand how poor some people are when this factors in athletes and people who make millions and millions of dollars, black athletes making millions and millions of dollars. It's all put together. So there are probably some people who survive on $5,000 a year. That's unreal. Whereas Indians, bro, you're considered a failure if you don't go to college and either become a doctor, engineer, or an IT. And we're cheap as well. So you factor all of that in, and then boom, you have the best average income.
Yeah.
I looked at the Latino thing. The Latino Mexican thing is around 50, 55.
What I admire of y'all's culture that I do like a lot is that you guys are very good at building assets.
Right.
You know, you guys come here. It could be somebody that barely came to the U.S., you know, whether it be, you know, not some racist or anything, you know, taxi stuff. He starts saving his money. Next thing you know, he gets a business. Next thing you know, he's just gets another business. You guys are so good at building assets and businesses. That's something I feel like in our culture, we're just always just working. You know, we don't really build the assets compared to to you guys.
Can I add to that though? Here's the one thing that I have to
Yeah.
really put into consideration is the status of immigration.
Yeah.
You know, Mexicans have not had a great assistance when it comes down to, okay, the only option that they have is to cross the border or wait 10 years, which the right thing to do is wait 10 years, right?
So when you think about that in the sense, when Indians can't get green cards or visas, we just stay the fuck in India. We're not going anywhere else, you know, because we don't have the option, right? And we just try to make something, because I know my uncle, he's been trying to come here for years, but his green card gets rejected every time. But Mexicans have that option. They can illegally cross the border.
Yep.
But then when they come here, they end up just suffering.
Yeah, because they
Right.
have exactly. That's so true. Because that's one of the main reasons as to why my parents even decided to go back to Mexico. They straight up said like, we got what 3 houses, we got a restaurant over there. Why are we suffering over here?
Right.
Straight up.
Bro, I agree with that.
Why are we holding these jobs, fuck ass jobs, to tell you the truth?
And it comes down to the fear as well. We're like, bruh, you want to escape Mexico to get a better life here, but you have the constant fear of being deported, right?
Yeah, but you can't even get a good job. That's the hard part.
My brother told me that his ex-girlfriend's mom, she drove illegally for 20 years in the U.S.
Yeah.
And she hasn't gotten caught once. But as soon as she gets caught and the police sees her name in the system, bruh, and realize that she's illegal, you're getting deported. So you're risking your life every day, dropping your kids off at school, getting groceries.
Yeah.
Just shit like that. The fact that she hasn't been caught yet is amazing to me.
So that's what I'm saying. So now let's put things into consideration where most of these...
that goes into a culture though, like in
most
general,
of-
and I agree with that as well. And like the first, and let me just go back to one thing that you're saying about like, and I think Mexicans, like, because you said it was like 55, and then African American. I think personally, I have a personal opinion where like it's like I think the welfare of like the government helping either African Americans and Mexicans as well a lot welfare. It pretty much ruins their motivation to go work and do something, because getting easy money motivates you to go work and get the money yourself. Because once you get the money yourself, you know how much you can do. Personally, you know how much you can do, so it motivates you to get more money and grow than just receiving money off of welfare and stuff. And I feel like that's a big part of it too as well. And then the other part where like you're saying like people are risking it. Yeah, some families are risking it. Like personally, my mom risked it because she's an immigrant as well. But the thing is, she risked it for us, you know, for like her children.
Yeah, we get
and
it.
sometimes like that has to do a lot with it. I think most of them has to do a lot with it. Also, the lifestyle that America gives you, even though you could possibly get deported. A lot of these people are like, they get deported and they come back easily. Like, it's like you just got to save up, or you can even have money saved up already in Mexico. So when even you get deported, I know I've had friends where like they leave or they get deported and they already have the money saved up over there to come back.
Ready. They're back next weekend.
They're back
next
weekend.
week, straight up, bro.
The lifestyle in Mexico, I mean, it is good, but also, I mean, it's decent. But like again, the cartel, all that we're talking about, it's really bad over there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
no, for
getting
sure.
it getting worse because more and more by the time passes, they're getting more control over the government. So to the point where like they can do whatever the fuck they want to.
And here's the sad part, though. To tell you the truth, when it comes down to the Hispanic culture, there's so many. We talk about the people that don't have that are undocumented, that don't have papers, but then let's talk about the people that do have documents, that do have papers, that are able to work, but they're so old to the point where like it doesn't make sense for them to learn a new trade. It doesn't. They have they can literally get a great job at corporate or whatever, but they choose not to.
and I think that
That's when
55.
we said let's run COVID. No, I'm kidding.
And I think that's why the 55,000 that you're saying is growing, and that's honestly
Oh, yeah. I
because
see
of
it
the
nothing
new
but
wave
shooting up.
of the kids that people that came in illegally. Now those kids that they had, now they're learning how to create assets for them. I mean, for example, us, bro, like we didn't get taught that, but again, we were self-taught to build assets and stuff. I mean, it took me a while to learn. I think he was the one who first introduced him into stocks, and then he learned about stocks in general, and then he taught me, and that's how it interconnects, like where you grow assets, but like it's all by your friends, not by the people that you grow up
So
pretty
you guys
much.
are like a cool 10 years ahead.
Something like that.
I say a cool 10,
you know,
15 years.
I give the credit to what I've learned in investing and trading because of my dad, I already have,
Yeah,
you know, I can't get into too much detail, but like I already have the net worth of a 24-year-old right now.
that's good.
Dope.
And for me especially, like going back to that entire thing, I did my research about the income thing. 2017 for Latinos, it was 36 grand a year. And that includes people who have money illegally from the cartel. So people who, like my boy Walter White Heisenberg, you know, Don
Can that
Eladio.
be really factored though?
It can though. It really can, because even though like that's giving what they do is when they receive like illicit money from the cartel, they can, people can come to the assumption of how much they're pulling in a year, right? So like some cartels are so booming, they make like 80 million to 100 million a year.
Yeah.
Like my boy Gus Fring, 500 million a year, right?
Yeah,
So just things like that. And then as well, so when you factor in all that, median income goes to was 36, so in 2017. Now it's 2021, 55. It's a good boost. Indians was 90 back then.
Yeah.
Now it's 126. So the economy is steadily growing, especially. And then on some like no racial shit with Mexicans, one thing I've noticed, when you want to be rich, like, and maintain your Mexican culture, bro, like, I think for the two things I've noticed is there's an illegal side and a legal side. So the legal side is people who have struck it rich in their, you know, like their business regarding, you know, plumbing, electricity, water,
their service.
Landscaping.
they're servicing. Some people just know where the money is. Like,
Yeah.
I know
True,
some
so
dude.
true.
I know some dude who makes about 450 to 500 grand a year.
Yeah.
But he started his business 20 years ago, and now all he does is he like does like water filters for Indian households, right? They're very expensive, right? But and he has like 5 to 6 jobs a day, each one coming in at like $2,000, $3,000. So you do
Nice.
the math right there.
Exactly.
So he's pulling in a lot of money. But then there's the illegal side, where you have the fear of getting caught at any time, right? But you're in the cartel. You're in the cartel, having the fear of getting caught at any time, but you're living life to the high,
Yeah.
while, you know, still staying close to your roots in the Mexican culture. So you're raking in like 3-4 million a year.
Yeah.
But these are the people that have the constant fear of getting caught. So those
Yeah.
are the two rich sides I noticed for Mexicans.
Would you say this is kind of bringing it back to your point of we were talking semen retention and gratification? You know, with the cartel, would it be more like fast money, quick, or with you know, a legal job? It would be like you said. It took 20 years for him to build that up. you
Yeah, I
know?
wasn't expecting that. I don't know, man. Semen retention and nofap, that's just a confidence booster at the end of the day. That's a thing to get you. Do you guys know what post-nut clarity is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after
Shit.
yeah, after you do
Bro.
the
Like, hey, girl, your Uber's outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I think I'm good now.
So
There's-
what nofap and semen retention do,
Yeah.
it gives you post-nut clarity before you even do anything. But it's like I said, it's not easy, because a lot of people, like, even though they don't want to admit it, they're addicted to that sense of dopamine. When
Exactly.
you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it, that sense of dopamine, that's almost like a high adrenaline rush where you can't experience that again.
Yep.
You know, because you notice, like, when you're, you know, going a little rated R here, when you're at the peak, you know, whether it's masturbation or sex or whatever, right? That feeling you have, you need to really think about how that feeling is so high, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then boom, as soon as you nut, whatever, 20 seconds, wraps.
Yeah.
You're at an all-time low.
Exactly.
That's not okay, right? Like, it's human nature in a sense, but there's a way to take advantage of that, right? When you can find that balance between, you know, doing this for instant gratification versus, you know, trying to have this as a confidence booster, keeping an open mind about it, it's amazing. Because you could,
Facts.
if you're productive for at least 2 hours a day, most people wake up at like 6 a.m. in the morning and be like, oh, I'll wake up way before you. But like, bruh, they end up just like staying on their phone for 8 to 9 hours a day, right? And at that point, it's 4 or 5 p.m. Then you have, like, because people who work 9 to 5s, things like that, have to wake up early, do that job. Then you only have 5 hours to really put in the work that you want to do for your own personal life.
Yeah.
But then you're so tired from that 9 to 5, you got to take at least 1 to 2 hours to be on your phone.
Yeah.
Then you got to go eat dinner, which just takes another hour. Then at that point, it's 10 or 11 p.m. Then you only have almost about 1 hour productivity. So what's the point of waking up early,
Yeah.
right? That's why even I don't, 9 to 5 is never my goal, right? But even if I was to do a 9 to 5, it would be something that I really enjoy doing. Like,
So let me
trading.
ask you this then. So let's say you are, 24 and well-established income, job, anything you really desired for yourself, at what point do you say, okay, I'm ready?
You just answered the question right there. Because I know that I'm accomplishing my goals.
He said, "What you mean?"
Because
you
I
mean
know
by
that I've
that?
accomplished my goals. I know that now is the time to put myself out there to find a female. Because, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, a female will always be there. There are billions of females on this earth that you can pick from. And, of course, one of them will be perfect for you, right? And like I said, when you know, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I am positive that I just don't need a girl in my life. But let's say, I'm not even putting myself out there, nothing like that. And, I meet beautiful female, great energy. She practices the same things I do. And as well as she has a very open mind, right? I would keep that girl in my life, right? But I'm not looking for that right now.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for it, I'll go for that. But if that comes to me, why would I not take it? It's not like I'm saying, bro, fuck all females. I don't want a girl. I hate girls, things like that.
I hope you find a virgin whenever you're 24.
Oh, yeah?
I hope
Do you ever think about how, being so successful that it kind of, you might get the wrong girl in the sense that,
Yeah, I thought about that a lot, like a gold digger sort of sense.
because they be tricky. Like, it's not like, oh, give me some money and stuff like that, bro. They be
And that's
sneaky.
why I said,
you know?
hopefully you find a virgin at 24.
See,
So you got to put into context, too, that females are there for the taking. And as much as bro, as much as we, we really got to take care of our girls, sexual harassment and all of that shit, that it's real out there,
Yeah.
So we got to really respect them more as guys, but they're still out there, and guys are going to just snatch them from someone or, point is that like you always want to like not let that one person go, like straight up.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But it like I said, if a girl comes into my life like that, I'll take it. No
I
issues
feel like
with
it has
that.
to be very,
But
I guess natural, right?
Right. But as soon as I realize that I can't sacrifice time for her because I'm chasing the bag, I'm chasing my goals, I'm gonna let it go. Or
Yeah.
if I realize that she's clashing with, personal time or my goals, my career.
And that's
She's
the right
gone.
way to think about things, because no offense, but girls are also trying to build now. In today's world, they're
Yeah.
trying to build too.
Right.
They literally are.
So
Is that what you call OnlyFans now?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question, though. What's your thoughts on OnlyFans, man?
no.
Do you
As somebody who's like anti-porn, things like that, that's
Yeah.
anybody in the self-help community.
yeah.
I completely disregard OnlyFans. I don't like it.
Do you have, what if, like, say, hypothetically, your sister or your cousin was like, I'm going to do this OnlyFans.
Bro,
What do you just...
if anybody in my family ever tried to do that, they'd be disowned by their parents immediately.
For real, yeah. Like, I think like Indian or Hispanics.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'd be
maybe
disowned.
Hispanics are more lenient nowadays.
Oh no, Hispanics. That's honestly the majority of what I see on OnlyFans. What y'all mean?
Hey, but keep in mind, I feel like most of the ones that are OnlyFans, either they don't have a dad or they're like growing up.
I
with,
don't know,
like,
man. Because
There's some other factors.
For me,
some
what
other
I see,
factors.
whenever I see something that I don't agree with or something, I almost put it into perspective. And
Yeah.
you guys are asking me this question, but you got to think about if you had a daughter.
Exactly.
I'll ask you guys the question now. Would you be okay with your daughter doing
Hell
that?
no.
Hell no.
There's your answer.
I would.
Really?
Yeah,
You'd be
I would.
okay with it?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
Why? Because it's her body.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if she wants to do that, like, cool. I mean, I'm not gonna be giving her money or things like that to support
Right.
her decisions. But if homegirl's gonna be making $100K in a month, bro, that's my daughter.
Right. But at
What
the
if it
same-
was your wife?
Well, no way it would be my wife.
But is it okay?
What if she's like, it's
Hold on.
my body, I want to do this?
Right.
well, then we get into conversation where Kanye and Kim, did that work out? So
Right, but is it okay for your daughter to make $100,000 a year, but putting her body out as a sex object?
that's the one thing
The
that
value goes down.
that I would be okay with. Now, would the wife be okay with? You gotta realize that it's not my job to really, really force someone to be who they don't want to be. So it just comes down to, okay, the wife talked to the daughter, and at the end of the day, it was the wife's job to fulfill those roles and responsibilities of being a girl. Because I would never be able to tell her, period, shit like that. I can't.
Right. So situation-wise, you're out with your daughter and your wife, right? And then
Yeah.
you go to a family gathering, and they all know what she's
Yeah.
doing, right?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with people looking at her like basically as a sex object, like because they've seen her so many times without clothes.
I'd be okay with it, bro. Here's the thing, though. I would be famous and shit like that already at that point, respectable and shit like that, and they would know what my accomplishments would be.
Would it be at the same point of respect?
Oh, 100%.
You think so?
100%.
I don't
bro,
think
here's
so.
the thing,
I don't
though.
think so. Because when you think about it, like all these famous people, like let's say, let's put in example, Lori Harvey. Like, bro, Lori Harvey. Steve Harvey, right?
Yeah.
Steve Harvey is a very respectable comedian, and he's a businessman. Like he's really known.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you think about his daughter, you're like, man, that bitch, oh, bro, like she's
Hold
been
on.
passed
Wait,
around.
Lori
like,
Harvey has an OnlyFans?
No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans,
nah.
but keep in mind, like all the pictures you post on Instagram, like.
No, she's been kind of like dating around.
But she's been dating around
within-
like within the community of like rappers and
She's
stuff.
with Michael B. Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan now, but she's been around, bro. She's
Okay.
like
Future the GOAT.
Future,
Oh,
like,
I don't know Future. Yeah.
bro. She's been around like
But that's what I'm saying.
multiple
So,
guys.
like,
So like at the end of the day, like it all comes to this,
Yeah.
bro. Like I would say, like if it was my daughter, I would be disappointed as a parent because I didn't show him the way
Yeah.
to not need that. Like you can make a lot of money off of a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
To where the point like you don't really need that.
Yeah, I'd rather my daughter be, like say the owner of a company that manages girls that do that, but I don't want her to be, doing
Honestly,
that.
this could be the title of this video, because OnlyFans and porn is always a hot topic, because it's so much to debate around. Especially, coming back to what you were saying, a lot of girls do OnlyFans out of necessity. They
Yeah.
sell their bodies because they can't make a living doing anything else. That's
do
not
I see
okay.
it happening within my household? I don't think so.
Yeah, I
But
don't-
do I see it as something that's going to be a deal breaker for my household? Absolutely not. It's going to be a household where anything that you want to be will be able to flourish.
Th- that's-
and at the end of
But
the
is
day,
your goal to end up being that, like where
Well, I
she
mean,
has to do
yeah,
OnlyFans?
what do you say?
No. That's why he brought up the conversation where there's two ways you can do things: the right way or the wrong way. It's either yes or a no. So at the end of the day, you can do things the shady way, or you can work for things and be able to realize your dreams if you really just manifest that shit. But that's not where I see myself saying like, okay, just do OnlyFans. That's because you need it. You see, that's the wrong way to do things. And the way I do things is always try to do the right way, to do things the best way possible, and things
Yeah.
like that. And that's the household that is my household, even right now.
I think that's a good understanding, but for me as well, if you raise your daughter with principle, then there
Yeah.
wouldn't be a deal breaker in the first place.
right,
Yep.
exactly.
So that shouldn't even be a worrying thing.
Yeah.
right?
So like, why would I cry and go to sleep and say my daughter is a disappointment? I failed.
My daughter a hoe.
Yeah, exactly. I did my best. I did everything, and it
if,
still worked
right,
out
if
that
you
way.
do your best as a
Exactly.
parent and she still does it,
That's the route she chose.
then it's not your fault.
Oh,
right?
100%. That's what I mean.
You decide to be in a marriage and then end up not committing to it because
exactly.
you want to go cheat or whatever. That rubs off on a kid. Then it's your fault.
Oh yeah, that 100%.
Then there's no deal breaker whatsoever.
This remind me of something that was happening on Twitter this week where like who was it? I think it wasn't Michael Jordan. It was who it was. I don't know, it was Dr. Dre or somebody famous.
His daughter.
Oh, yeah.
His daughter
She's
was
like
talking
homeless.
about is homeless and how old is she?
38.
38. And then like Shannon Sharp, which is I don't know if you know
I
Shannon
know
Sharp.
those.
He said he retweeted like how y'all making something go viral about a woman that's already 38 that her father has to take care of problems she created.
At 38, come on, like it's a difference if she was like 17, 18. you
That's
know?
just insane. 38.
38. That's kind of life choices.
Bro,
From
by
there.
38, I don't even know where I see
Yeah.
myself, man. At 38, bro, I'd be on top of the
Oh,
world.
you brought
You
up.
better be the president of fucking India.
You brought up cheating. What is your thoughts on what is it called? Monogamy or
Monogamy? I agree with it because that's what the point of marriage is, right? Committing yourself to one person for the rest of your life is not easy, right? But when I see people who've known each other for 6 months and be like, "Oh, I love you, let's get married,"
Yeah.
that is dopamine kicking in.
Just in the moment.
That's in the moment dopamine thinking, right? You need to be able to really commit to a person, and that's why, while arranged marriages are not viewed well here, it's very successful because even though you don't know this person until marriage,
Yeah,
you really figure out these things and that's why arranged marriages are so successful because unless it's a abusive like hitting relationship,
Yeah.
they all work out. My parents were a love marriage, right? So they were actually love marriage, but everybody else in my family is arranged.
What's the rules with the arranged marriages like?
Arranged marriage is your parents' choice.
Like, but there's not like a certain rules of like it has to be from because I have a friend, he's Indian, and then for his marriage, it had to be from this certain city that
Okay,
he
yeah.
was at.
So arranged marriage comes down to family's preference. So it could either be it's like a pick and choose Tinder type stuff. But it's like like real life Tinder, right? Because you know nothing about this person except like very few things about them.
Yeah.
But the only difference is your parents are involved. So they have to be from a
They
certain
play a role.
some parents prefer a certain caste. Some parents like prefer a certain skin color. Some parents prefer like a certain income background.
Yeah.
Just things like that.
Man, did you guys see that crazy story of the guy how his wife died or got a heart attack whenever it was the wedding? This was arranged marriage in India. She died of a heart attack. So the families got together and they were like, you know what? The sister will just step up and take the place.
I've never seen that.
Bro, it was this year.
What the fuck?
This year,
Damn,
yeah,
that's
dead
wild,
ass.
bro.
Talk about stepping
They
to the
said,
plate.
man, it was a
Step
lot
up-
of money
step up
goes
to the
into the
plate,
weddings,
man.
man.
Yeah, but as we were like getting back on the thing that we were even discussing, like after
Yeah.
the monogamy thing, like having multiple wives is very common in some areas of the world, like Africa, for example.
Yeah.
Africa, Saudi Arabia is probably the main one, like Middle
East, yeah.
because women are treated like shit over there. You know,
Yeah.
they're not even viewed as humans. They're viewed as people to come onto this earth just to repopulate the earth, nothing more.
And the crazy thing is that even though you're like no fap and all of that stuff that you believe in, it's not that you don't disrespect. It's not because you disrespect women. It's because you understand their value.
It's because I respect exactly. It's the
Yeah.
complete opposite.
Yeah.
There's a word that
Respect women,
you know,
boys.
because there are always going to be people who come on your channel just to hate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen this one comment. I didn't even know what it meant. It said something about an incel. I don't know what that means.
Oh, those
So
guys
in-
that they can't get the girls.
I searched it up. Like incel, like Urban Dictionary. It said like
Or is
when
that
you're-
coming on our video or was somebody?
when you secretly can't like pull females and you're like really like not confident in yourself, so you end up trashing them. That's what apparently that's what an incel is. But like, what I don't understand about that is like, these comments come on videos where I talk about sticking to yourself and, you know,
until the time is right.
I'm literally motivating you to to achieve your goals first, then focus on females, right?
It's like the definition of betting on yourself. Like
Invest in yourself, and then a female will come into your life. That's the whole point of manifestation and you know, attraction from what we practice in the self-help community. But people take that as me like telling them this one thing, but them assuming that I can't pull females and all this shit. And I'm like, bruh.
Like but at the end of the day, that's somebody that hasn't like grown to like be an actual man, you know. And
Would you say
like,
that's the
definition of being a
biggest-
man? Like, you know, when girls like you know that girls are attracted naturally to a person that's focused or
I
there's
think
a lot
it's-
like that are not, but like
I think it's
most
a
girls
person-
that you're gonna attract good is the ones that like they see you doing your own thing and like you're focused on what you're doing.
the problem lies on the fact that most people don't travel. Most people don't go out and, you know, look at other cultures.
They're in a bubble.
And, yeah, exactly. They're just stuck in their own mindset and
Right.
they don't realize the big picture.
The only thing they have is the internet.
Exactly. So I don't think you should worry about those.
Like I'm
people.
saying, I never even like respond to those comments whatsoever. I usually just like them and move on, you know, just to give the person like, you tried it, but it
Hey,
didn't
help
work.
the algorithm. Fuck it.
Right? You're commenting on my
Thank
video
you.
because one thing that I preach is like, bruh, you could put all the negative energy you want on me, but I'm just gonna take that energy and turn it into something positive. So
Yeah.
if you're my supporter, I love you. If
Yeah.
you're my hater,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Right? Because
They're both views.
they're both
Yeah.
they're both views to me, whether you're hating on my videos or liking them. Because dislikes don't, you know, mean shit on YouTube. That doesn't do anything for your money, anything, right? So literally, that one person, I would pick out one person from a crowd of like 100 people who are like talking shit. That one person who's a supporter means everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because you guys have no idea how surreal it feels to meet a subscriber in real life.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's so crazy. I talked to Alex about this one day, and I put it on the group chat. But I was in a corporate party, and I was enjoying time with my corporate, you know, coworkers. There was a manager that was moving away, was getting promoted, and then out of nowhere, I'm literally like taking shots with my girlfriend, and next thing you know, like she goes away, and the people there sitting there, they're just looking at me and they're just enjoying my vibe. He saw, because he noticed that I ordered like 10 shots for the people that were waiting for us at the table, and then they were like, "Yeah, man, like oh man, I want to order 10 shots too because your vibe is so amazing," things like that. They were saying to me, and then next thing you know, a person in that group was all like, "But wait, aren't you friends with Sam?" I'm all like, "Sam is his girlfriend." and I was hanging out. I was like getting along with the guys there, and next thing you know, like they're like, "Wait, yeah, you're right. You're right. You do that podcast." Hopefully, they see and comment below if they're watching this. But I didn't even know who they were. He knows who they are, and they recognize me because they see this and they know him. And it was so surreal because I didn't even know who they were, and we were enjoying the vibe, and they knew who I was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the cool thing about
It's a great feeling to meet people
Yeah.
who actually support your content,
Yeah.
things like that. And then, you know, but that also comes down to the idea of me always preaching that I want to be rich, not famous. You know.
Yeah.
Want to be rich, not
That's
famous.
that's
a bar right there. for
that's
sure.
always the end goal for me.
At the end of the day, I every single person that I interact with, it's not about me. It's about the event, the situation. It's not only for me. It's about the two of us. So if we're out in the club, it's gonna be an amazing time, no matter who you are.
See, like coming back to what we even talked about at the beginning of like, I don't know how long it's been since we've been talking, you know, just flowing. But like I said, subscribers weren't always a gift to my channel, right?
Bro.
You know, because of consistency.
We feel that too, man.
Yeah.
We feel
We're
that
growing.
too.
We're
But-
growing.
Yeah.
What I like now is we have a very structural audience now. All the people that watch my videos from a week ago watch my content now as well.
Yeah.
We have the same commenters, same things. So that's really what sets you out, right? Because one video could go viral, but that doesn't do shit for your watch hours, right?
Yep.
So when you have a strong audience, a base, you know, when you have a strong base of an audience, your watch hours end up going up. Because honestly, I like where I'm at now because my watch hours are way higher than my subscribers. Subscribers come with one viral video. Watch hours come with grit and hard work. That's what
Yeah.
separates. Because there are people with 100,000 subscribers based on like 2 viral videos on like YouTube Shorts, but they probably have like 500 watch hours out of 4,000.
And you know what's crazy? The shorts, the YouTube shorts, they don't count towards the watch time.
Right. Of course. There you go.
Yeah.
There's your example right there. Like,
That's so true because I have my own channel too, and then the watch hours hit first instead of the subscribers. And you know, I get people message me and they're like, "Oh, bro, you know, I watched this, I watched that. You know, you should do this, you should do that." Like, I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like, it feels good knowing that they're taking the
People watch
time
your
to
content.
watch the whole
Right.
content and stuff
And
like
then-
that. Such a good feeling.
honestly, bro. And then like as well, when people, you know, tell you, "Oh, you don't have these many subscribers. Oh, you're growing slowly. Oh, your content is this." It's kind
Man,
of
you try it.
it's and honestly, on YouTube, a good quote I can give is like, "Comparison is a thief of joy." So what that means is, you look at one channel and then be like, "Bruh, they're growing so fast, but why can't I grow like this?" That is the number one thing you could do wrong on
Can't
YouTube.
do that.
YouTube comes with consistency and staying in your own lane. So when you're driving a car, you're gonna look in your own lane, because when you're not looking in your own lane, you're looking at somebody else's lane. You're gonna swerve and you're gonna end up crashing,
Crash.
right? But when you look at your own lane, you're gonna get to your destination. That's a great way I put it, right? That's
I like that. I
That's a
like
great
that.
way I think. That's honestly the number one way I think about it. So whenever I start comparing myself to other people on YouTube, I really sort of ground myself and understand that they were at my point at like a certain period of time,
Oh yeah.
as well as maybe they have certain amount of more subscribers than I do, even though they started after I did, right? So they blew up with the algorithm, but their watch hours aren't as good as mine,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't have both, right?
Yeah.
YouTube will test you, right? YouTube is a career at the end of the day. People make money on this platform, so it's gonna test you, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna put you in a box
Yeah.
and see how you come out of that box. If you can't come out of that box, YouTube's gonna be like, "Fuck you. We have
Other-
we have millions of other creators on this platform, so
Hell
we're
yeah.
gonna try do the same thing to them." But when you really ground yourself, look straight ahead, you know, 20/20 tunnel vision, and just make that content, boom, everything will
What
change.
would you say is the biggest misconception when it comes to the self growth community?
What people call us in the self-growth community is the red pill movement. The red pill movement is like the red pill movement is like honestly trying to change your life for the better because you've just been in a shithole for so long, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the biggest misconception of the self-help community is like they think we're perfect.
Okay.
So what that means is they're like, "Oh, you're talking about one thing, but you're not doing it yourself." And what people got to understand at the end of the day, we're humans. What we
Yeah.
do is we give you advice based on the experiences we've had in life, or like what we practice what we preach, basically. But
Yeah.
nobody's perfect at the end of the day. Everybody has bad days, you know? In this week myself, I had 3 bad days. But when we have these good days, what really separates a creator in this community is when you're able to make content on good days and on bad days. On good days, when you can make content to help people, and on bad days when you can talk about your experiences with what you're going through and it resonating with other people.
It will
That's
help.
the number one. That's why Jordan Green was so successful on YouTube, because whether it's a good, bad, ugly day, he made 3 videos when he broke up with his girlfriend this weekend. Right off the bat. He broke up with his girlfriend who literally meets all of my criteria, like, for him in the same sense, right? Because we have the same mindset about girlfriends, and he ended it with her. But he made 3 videos on that day, right? So that really shows how he's built different in a sense. That's why I have so much respect for him. That's why he is on the verge of making huge money in this community, right? He's very well spoken, things like that. So that's what really separates you in the community. And misconceptions wise, like I said, it really just comes down to what I just said, but also in the fact that, you know, you take what people also say and you let it motivate you instead of bringing you down. Yeah, that's just gonna set you out in anything you do in life.
Nah, man, that was a great podcast. I mean, we talked about everything.